Welcome to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and today we are headed to San Francisco, California to meet with Curtis Sparrer of Bospar PR. Welcome, Curtis.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so your company specializes in tech PR. How in the world do you make, out of all these gazillions of tech companies, how do you help your clients stand out?
Well, I think it's about category leadership. And that's the idea that there is a lot that we might see in tech or that the common regular person might assume is tech. But when it comes to the companies that we represent, it's about understanding the specific problem they solve and making that problem come alive in such a way that we can make the case that we are the absolute leader in the space and we have certain technology and experience that's going to help solve these problems and challenges that other companies are facing.
I love that. And that's so important. You have to have a niche. All my clients are so afraid. They're like, no, 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 I can do everything for everyone. It's like, no, your niche is where you're going to get your publicity. But we're talking about niches. But one of the things I saw on your website is that you talk about, obviously there's a difference with local PR and national PR. And when you go national, you look at more broader topics. So how do we do that? Like, what's the happy medium between niching and then kind of being that person that can, be on national media outlets talking about their expertise?
We have discovered that most Americans do not ascribe leadership to a tech company unless they are seen in about 7 to 10 different outlets. And they say that it's one thing to appear in a vertical publication. It's another thing to appear in a horizontal publication, and yet it's so much more meaningful when they show up in a local publication because that local publication speaks the most close to them and it shows that they are indeed a big deal that matters to them. So, whenever we're working with a company that either has national aspirations or very targeted aspirations, we create a media program that really takes advantage of this because buyers are people too. And as a result of them being people too, we need to make sure that they're appearing in all the media outlets that matter to them.
So tell me one of the biggest mistakes that you see that tech companies are doing trying to get publicity. What mistake are they making?
I think the biggest mistake they're making is not giving themselves enough time to tell their story. I think what happens is a lot of times someone from a really big company will come in thinking that people are going to react to news like they would react to the biggest company out there. And the thing is that most journalists need several days to really get buy in from their editor to set up interviews and to do things in a way to really craft the story. And if you don't give a journalist enough runway to tell that story properly, then you are going to really, squelch your coverage. And so when I say that, the first thing I'm really attacking is the idea of the press release publication date. Pick a date that makes sense. Don't do it on a Monday or a Friday, but a time in the middle of the week. And then give yourself at least 5 to 10 business days to pitch that story to journalists before that date happens so that you can ensure you're going to tell your story and give it the oxygen it needs to really breathe.
Oh, Curtis, and that's so much of what I preach about too. People think, oh, I can just pitch the media for my story tomorrow. You've got to give them time. So thank you so much for joining us today. It was super valuable information, especially for those tech companies out there.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciated it. And I think the thing is that, being politely pushy is the thing that helps tell your story today.
Oh, I love that. Politely pushy. It's okay to do that. Uh, so thank you, Curtis. And to learn more about Curtis and Bospar PR, head over to Daily Ad Brief. I am Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and I'll see you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.